Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to give you 10 latest defense updates. Number 1, IAF has announced plans for 50% of its combat fleet to be composed of indigenous fighter jets, according to a report presented in Parliament last month. The Tejas Mk1 program has allowed India to catch up with the rest of the world in terms of 4.5 Gen technology, and the IAF is confident that India will be among the few countries relying on its indigenous fighter jets to replace its current combat fleet. Next, the competition for engine development is intensifying in India, with the UK, France and the USA all vying for joint venture. The Chief of Defence Staff for the UK Admiral Sir Tony Radakin, who recently visited India, announced that the proposal for joint development of a jet engine with India has received the highest clearance from the authorities. The program will grant India not only intellectual property rights for the product but also factor in export clearance so that it can be sold without requiring permission from the UK. Next, IAF planning to conclude deal for MRFA in net 3 years. Later this year, the Indian Air Force plans to approach the Ministry of Defence for an acceptance of necessity, which typically marks the beginning of the procurement process by setting aside budgetary outlays. Next, solar industries to supply UAV Nagastra to Indian Army. Solar Industries Nagpur on Friday said it had bagged an order to supply the unmanned aerial vehicle Nagastra to the Indian Army, beating competitors from Israel and Poland. A Solar Industries official said that with the government's initiative to bring Atmanirbhar into ammunition and defense system, the first indigenous loiter munition Nagastra 1 has been designed and developed by Economics Explosives Limited, a 100% subsidiary of Solar Industries Nagpur in association with Z Motion Bangalore. Next, India decides to go slow on Russian weapons deals due to sanctions. Due to concerns about possible US sanctions, the sale of Russian arms to India has reportedly slowed down, according to news report. New Delhi has not been able to complete the purchase of several Russian weapon systems as a result of the sanction. Next, J&K Attack, drones, Sniffer Dogs used in hunt for terrorists, 12 detained. At least 12 people were detained on Friday for questioning in connection with the deadly ambush of 5 army soldiers in the dense forest area of Bata Doria. Here, even as a MI helicopter, drone and Sniffer Dogs were pressed into service in a massive manhunt for the perpetrators of last afternoon's attack. Next, India, Armenia, Iran hold first ever trilateral talks. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of India, Armenia and Iran held the first trilateral political consultations on Thursday in Yerevan. The three countries had a wide range of discussions, particularly on economic issues and regional communications. Trilateral cooperation in various fields was also discussed during the meeting. Next, Army pays tribute to 5 soldiers killed in terrorist attack in Jammu's Poonch. Top army and police officials on Friday paid homage to 5 soldiers killed in a terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch district. 5 soldiers were killed and 1 was injured on Thursday after their vehicle was attacked by unidentified terrorists and caught fire. The soldiers were a Rashtriya Rifle unit deployed for counter-terror operations. Next, the Indian space startup to test electronic propulsion for satellite tomorrow. Bengaluru-based space startup Bellatrix Aerospace will send its experimental payload today along with PSLV. Hall effect thruster, that is HET, on Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C-55 that is set for launch today at 2:19 p.m. The ARKA series HET, which will demonstrate the solar electric propulsion engine for small satellites, will be flying in the PSLV Orbital Experimental Module, that is POEM, where the Indian Space Research Organization uses the final stage of the rocket as an orbital platform to carry out experiments in orbit. Next, retrofitted old military gypsies made into EVs. Retrofitted electric gypsies were showcased at the ongoing Army Commanders Conference in New Delhi on Friday. These retrofitted older military gypsies were made into electrical vehicles when the Indian Army Cell, IIT Delhi, and a startup named Tadpole Projects came together for this project. Thank you.